Welcome back to another portfolio update, and we have just surpassed 800 subscribers, which means on the next video we will be doing a giveaway. If you would like to be a part of this, don't forget to like, comment on the video and subscribe to the channel for all the updates. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, and let's get into it. Between both portfolios, the GIA and the ISA, we're now sitting at just over £126,000. And in this video, I'm going to show you my buys and sells across both portfolios and what I'm holding in both. So firstly, let's break down the ISA. And on the ISA this month, we've been buying PayPal, we've been buying Amazon, we bought back some of the Ondas, and we've naturally just bought some of our ETFs for the All World and the S&P 500. So let's take a look at all of the holdings inside the ISA. So recently this week, we have seen a lot of volatility, and there's been a lot going on in the news with the banks, with China and Trump, and there's just been a lot of everything going on. Now, this portfolio alone, the ISA, seen highs of £130,000 this week, and of course it hurts. It hurts seeing it go down and seeing it drop down to at the end of the week finishing on 103 and being 11,000 down for the week. But people are calling this a crash. People are calling this whatever. It's sort of a bit more of a correction. We are going into Q3 earnings, because I mean, when we zoom out and we look, we're still up nearly £20,000 for the month. We come out for 3 months, we're still up by nearly 70% for £42,000. So is this a crash? Is this a correction? The market has been running really hot lately. So, you know what I mean? It could be a leg down before a leg up. But me personally, I'm not worried. I wasn't selling any positions. The only position that I sold over the last month is I trimmed 1,000 shares of Ondas when we hit 11. I think it's important to trim down when you hold big positions. So that is exactly what I did. So let's start looking inside the growth pie and exactly what we're holding in here. So as we said, we've got Ondas in here. We're holding a big chunk of Ondas. So we've got 8,650 shares on the ISA. We're up still 73%. This was well over 100% up, but the market retraced. Like I say, we reached the highs and it started to come down a bit. It's natural, is what it is. I'm nothing to worried about. It's had a fantastic run. The last 3 months, we're still up nearly 250%. It's like, you know what I mean, give it a chance. We've still got earnings to come yet, so I'm very happy for the future for Ondas. Nebius has been an absolute belter. Started buying in this one at 20 a share, averaged up to 53, holding 250 shares now, so I've accumulated the amount of shares that I wanted to hold. We're still up by 115%, even though, again, like we say, we've seen the highs of 134, 135. So we've seen these highs 138 as well. So again, a little bit of a retracement, but nothing to worry about. I wasn't worrying about removing any of these. Nebius has got excellent margins, and I'm very looking forward to Q3 earnings. So Nebius, I'm very happy with my position there. SoFi, SoFi I've been holding again for a very long time. Started buying this at 18, averaged down when it would drop to 8. Started averaging back up a little bit, so we're sitting about 13.38. We're up nearly 94%, sorry. And again, this one was well over 100%, near enough. So we still got 601 shares. Fantastic holding. SoFi continuously to grow. Their options that they're offering, we've got crypto coming. We're seeing all these waiting lists and stuff that's happening with SoFi, and I think it's a fantastic stock to hold for the future. My PT for this was originally 35, but I think it's going to exceed that massively. I've seen some people with PTs of 100. Again, we all make our own from our own research. PayPal's received a lot of hype for a lot of time. So I started buying in a PayPal at 67 recently. It started running up a little bit, so we started seeing it going up here. So we started seeing it rise a little bit, and obviously had to average up a little bit. And with the market correction, I've started averaging down. I now got 135 shares, looking to get about 150. Not trying to open too big of a position in PayPal, but I do feel like this for me is going to be a 120 PT next year. I think PayPal's got a lot of exciting stuff going on, and I think they're going to do really well coming into the next couple of earnings. A lot of people think different, but they are doing some good stuff in the background, so we will wait and see. AST Sports Mobile, what a phenomenal stock. We were buying this one down in 30 originally a while ago, and just over a month ago we've accumulated the shares. It's had a phenomenal run. I think personally AST so far is running well too hot. Me personally, my PT was 150 to 200 a share in 28 when it was fully operational. Everything was a go. We haven't got a revenue. We haven't got a lot of things that back this number. AST trades a little bit like how Tesla does. So it trades on future growth more than it does on what's happening right now. So there is a lot of potential for AST to grow into it, but right now I think it's running well too hot, and I think we're going to see a big downfall back on this. I don't want to see that, but it's running well too hot. It's up 107% in the last month. But yeah, we've got a nice holding in it. We was up over 100%, but again, we've seen it touch 100 last week, which is crazy. But yeah, it's had a really good run, and I've got good hopes for this one in the future. Now, the most latest adding to the holding is Amazon, and Amazon, it just looks really cheap. AWS, it's going to be growing more. We know what's going on there. There's so many arms to Amazon. It hasn't really had any movement this year. I mean, it's up 12% in the last year, so obviously that's still some good movement. But that's factoring in the fact that obviously we had April as well, so it's been quite stagnant. But I've got a lot of hopes for Amazon, and I think in the Q3, Q4 earnings are going to do really good. We picked up 28 shares in the recent stuff that was going on last week. We are slightly down a little bit, but it's really not that much to be worrying about. So that there is the growth in the ISA. So now let's have a look at the funds. So obviously we carry an S&P 500 and we carry an all world. This does make me very overweight US stocks, but I'm happy with that. I know what I'm exposed to. I know what I'm holding. And like we say, we're up by 11% on the Invesco All World, and we're up by 14.31% on the S&P 500. So my more speculative stocks that I'm holding are in the invest account. So let's have a look at those stocks now. So this is my holdings on the invest account. And again, we have to just look at the graph over the last month. If we look over the last week, we're down by nearly £2,000. If we have a look over the last month, we're still up by £3,500. The chart has been absolutely wild recently, but high volatility is what it is. So I decided to take a little bit of a different path with my invest account, and I decided to have a few more speculative stocks that I wanted to run with and have a little bit of fun with, I guess. And obviously, higher risk comes higher reward. So obviously, Ondas is in here. Ondas has been in here for a while. We've got 1650 shares there. I bought some more Ondas back on the back end of what was going on. The next one is FIP, so FIP. It's FTAI Infrastructures. So these are railroads, and they've got a power plant and stuff like that. This stock has got a lot of debt, but they've just done an acquisition, and I will do a video on this further down the line. And I feel like in Q3, Q4, they are refinancing the debt, and there's a real good opportunity for upside here from the stuff that I seen. I read into meetings, I watched conversations with the CEO. It seemed optimistic. Again, we've only got 449 shares, and we're up by 4% already. And obviously, people know like the last week that we had, but it's a good defensive stock, railroads, good stuff like that. So I've got faith in this one. I think we're going to have a good movement, probably looking about 8, 9, 10 a share, something like that. The analysts are targeting for 12. I'll be happy to check out at 10, 11. So I mean, make a nice little profit. But yeah, like I say, these ones are high risk, high rewards. So the next one's Hive. I have to be transparent, I have to be honest. I looked at Hive's presentation, and I didn't like the way it was presented. The numbers look good and the plan looks good, but it looked a bit like a measuring competition. They had like IREN on there, so they were well outgrowing them and stuff. And then if people are looking at that and then they look at IREN now, they obviously go, well, that didn't age too well. It can give you a bit of a bad reputation, I guess. But I mean, the back plan of it is actually good. The data centers, the mining, they are still mining Bitcoin. They're doing quite well on that and stuff. So, and the financials look like they are swinging around. So this one, again, highly speculative play. Data centers are really sought after. Got myself in at this about 620. Obviously, as you can see, there's been a little bit of a retrace. It is what it is. We're going to hold this for a few quarters, see what happens. Like I said, these are more shorter term plays. Might end up in long term plays. We'll see what happens. But we're currently down by 7%. Obviously, the market last week had a little bit of volatility. So these ones are just going to see what happens. So yeah, that was the portfolio on both of them. And this week has been rocky. How have you felt about this week? And if you do, like I say, want to get involved on the giveaway, just drop a comment on the video. It can be anything, constructive criticism, just drop any comment. It just puts you in a draw. The more videos you comment on, the more chances you get in the draw between the space of each milestone. So yeah, thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.